Are you thinking of starting a new life abroad? Maybe you're seeking a place with more opportunity, better racial harmony, or simply a change of pace? For many African Americans, moving overseas isn't just about escape, it's about finding a place where they can truly thrive. In today's video, we're counting down the 10 best countries for African Americans to move to, based on racial acceptance, cost of living, personal freedom, job opportunities, and yes, a welcoming vibe. Grab your passport because some of these destinations might just surprise you. Kicking off our list at number 10 is Panama, a hidden gem in Central America. Panama is not only affordable but also boasts a sizable Afro-Caribbean population, especially in areas like Colón and Bocas del Toro. That means you're not just welcome here. You'll see people who look like you, speak like you, and share cultural roots. Cost of living, fairly low. You can live comfortably for under $2,000 a month. Language Spanish, but English is widely spoken in Panama City. Freedom and safety, stable democracy, easy visa options like the Friendly Nations visa. Bonus, it's in the same time zone as the East Coast US, great for remote workers. At number 9, we're heading to Southeast Asia, Thailand, the land of smiles. Thailand is a favorite among expats and increasingly among African American travelers and digital nomads. In cities like Chiang Mai and Bangkok, you'll find an accepting atmosphere and a thriving international community. Cost of living, exceptionally low. Rent can be as low as $300 a month outside Bangkok. Racial acceptance, race issues are not as politically charged. You may get stares, but rarely hostility. Freedom and work. Great for entrepreneurs and remote workers. Just don't overstay that visa. Cultural fit, laid-back, respectful culture. Just smile and be kind. It goes a long way here. You might not expect it, but Germany takes the 8th spot. Why? Because it's one of the few European countries where African Americans report finding professional respect, good wages, and strong protections against discrimination. Cost of living, moderate, but healthcare and education are nearly free. Jobs, high demand for skilled workers, especially in IT, engineering, and healthcare. Racial acceptance, more progressive in cities like Berlin, Hamburg, and Frankfurt. Freedom, one of the most liberal democracies in the world. Plus, strong laws against hate speech. Germany may not be diverse in the American sense, but it respects individuality, big time. At number 7, we're going back to the roots, Ghana. Ghana has extended open arms to African Americans through its Year of Return and Beyond the Return initiatives. The country honors shared ancestry and actively encourages resettlement. Cost of living, very affordable. You can live well on $1,200 a month, cultural connection, deep historical ties, especially in Cape Coast and Accra, racial acceptance. You're not a minority here, you're family. Bonus, dual citizenship is possible, and there's even a large African American expat community. For those looking to reconnect with heritage and build a legacy, Ghana offers something few countries can. Next up is sunny Portugal, a rising star among black expats. Why Portugal? It's beautiful, peaceful, and has one of the lowest crime rates in Europe. The cost of living is surprisingly low, especially in smaller cities like Coimbra or Braga. Racial climate, historically more tolerant than many Western European countries. Visa options. The D7 visa is perfect for remote workers and retirees. Community, a growing number of African American expats in Lisbon and Porto. Freedom and safety, rated among the safest and freest nations globally. Portugal offers a balanced lifestyle, great weather, good food, and minimal stress. Cracking the top 5 is our neighbor to the south, Mexico. More and more African Americans are settling in Mexico for its affordability, climate, and warm culture. Cities like Mérida, Playa del Carmen, and Mexico City are popular among black expats. Cost of living very low. $1,000 a month can go far. Racial dynamics. While there's colorism, anti-black racism is not systemic like in the U.S. ease of residency. Multiple visa options, including temporary and permanent residency. Work options, freelancers and remote workers love it here. Pro tip: Merida is known as one of the safest cities in the Western Hemisphere. Number 4 on our list is Costa Rica, a nature lover's dream and one of the happiest countries on earth. Costa Rica's Caribbean coast, particularly around Puerto Limon, has a strong Afro-Caribbean presence. Plus, the country abolished its military and invested heavily in health and education. Cost of living affordable, especially in rural or coastal towns. Racial acceptance, more about culture than color, be respectful and you're welcomed. Freedom consistently ranks high in democracy and personal rights. Healthcare, universal and very cheap. It's a perfect fit for those seeking peace, eco-living, and a slower pace of life. At number 3, we're heading to the southern tip of the continent, South Africa. Yes, it has its challenges, but for African Americans, South Africa can feel like a spiritual and cultural home. Cities like Cape Town and Johannesburg are cosmopolitan, diverse, and full of history. Cost of living very affordable for foreigners. Racial dynamics complex, but being American often earns you respect. Opportunities strong for entrepreneurs, educators, and creatives. Culture, vibrant music, food, and art seen with deep cultural roots. If you're bold and adventurous, South Africa is a rewarding place to build a life. At number 2 is Canada, friendly, progressive, and close to home. African Americans often find Canada to be a breath of fresh air compared to the US, with stronger social programs, less gun violence, and a generally more inclusive society. Jobs: excellent job market, especially in tech, healthcare, and education. Freedom and safety, very high global rankings. Black community cities like Toronto and Montreal have large, thriving black populations. Healthcare and education, free or low cost. Canada offers the stability and structure many African Americans are looking for, without the stress. And topping our list at number 1 is Brazil. Yes, Brazil. Why? Because it's home to the largest population of African descendants outside Africa. In cities like Salvador and Rio, Afro-Brazilian culture is not just present, it's celebrated. Cost of living incredibly low for foreigners. Cultural affinity, music, dance, food, you'll feel connected and appreciated. Racial dynamics complex, but you won't feel alone or invisible. Freedom and lifestyle, laid back, joyful, and family-oriented culture. While Portuguese is a must, the emotional connection many African Americans feel in Brazil is real. It's vibrant, soulful, and full of potential. So there you have it, 10 countries where African Americans aren't just surviving, they're thriving. Every place has its pros and cons, but the key is finding somewhere that fits your values, your vibe, and your vision for the future. Whether it's the sunny coasts of Portugal, the roots of Ghana, or the joy of Brazil, there's a world out there waiting to welcome you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more eye-opening travel and relocation content. Where would you move if you could? Drop it in the comments, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep exploring.